everyone, welcome back to Snackable Growth. In this week's video, I'm going to talk through a lightweight framework to help you find and do meaningful things in your life. A lot of us want to live more meaningfully, but we also don't really know what that means or how to get there. Let's get into it. I've got a sheet of paper because we'll actually be mapping this out together today, and I suggest that you grab one too and just go through the exercise, because why not? So to start, I found that meaning is not a singular feature. It's actually the intersection point of multiple features. Those features are first, identity, second, contribution, and third, community. Let's walk through each of these together. First, start by outlining positive elements of your identity. These are things that you really associate with your being and could be a feature of your character, your faith, or your culture. For me, I deeply identify with being Eritrean, being an introvert, being empathetic, being generally completion-oriented, and also being an independent woman. As you can see, these parts of my identity are kind of different shapes and sizes, but that's okay. They should just be things that you feel deeply describe you as a person. The reason we really need to outline these particular components of our identity is because it's not enough for our work to just be important. If that was true, then everyone would already find meaning in their jobs. So it's actually not about objective importance, it's really about subjective importance. Meaningful things are things that are uniquely and disproportionately important to you, so you must have some piece of your identity in it. Next, identify the things that you can uniquely create or do. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be good at it. Sometimes an easier way to think about it is just to think about the things that you disproportionately enjoy relative to other people. For me, these are things like producing videos, public speaking, writing, creating presentations, putting people at ease, making thoughtful gifts, clarifying questions, standing up for underdogs, and also facilitating deep discussions. These are the things that I think I enjoy and crave contributing to more than the average person. Next, outline the communities that you feel connected to. At the present moment, I feel connection to a couple different communities. First, the population of 20-somethings that are going through a quarter-life crisis. Second, the Eritrean community. Third, the Stanford community where I went to school. And fourth, the broad group of people that generally identify themselves as creators online. Alright, so now that we've filled in these three buckets, here comes the fun part. Start circling one item from each bucket that you feel might fit together, and try to find some measurable output that could deliver on all three. For example, I've circled Eritrea, producing videos, and the Eritrean community. This was a really obvious natural fit, and there have been a couple things that I've done that hit on this intersection point. For example, I've made it a habit of producing a lot of content on Eritrea on my YouTube channel, and I've also actually gone to Eritrea to teach a class on video production. As another example, I also circled empathy, facilitating deep discussions, and Stanford community. The meaningful pursuit that I derived from this was actually to create a workshop on crafting fulfillment, where I could facilitate discussions with students and also really empathize with the struggle that I know they're going through and I have already experienced. I also circled completion-oriented, writing, and the 20-something quarter-life crisis community. The meaningful pursuit that I've distilled from this is to actually task myself with writing and completing a book on my own quarter-life crisis. The meaningful things in my life happen to skew more creative, but a corporate job could still fit into this for many people. For example, leadership may be a part of your identity, problem solving may be something you disproportionately enjoy, and a team of coworkers or a team of people reporting to you may be the type of community that you really feel connection to. As a final point, I want to call out something to be aware of. What you'll notice across all of my chosen outputs for meaningful work is that they're all hard. Meaningful work requires work. As a general life philosophy, you want to choose things that are challenging and that offer the opportunity for improvement, because easy things are rarely meaningful. For example, watching TV is enjoyable, but it's easy and it doesn't offer room for improvement. That's what makes it a good leisure activity, but not a good meaningful personal pursuit. So, in conclusion, start looking for challenging opportunities where your identity can uniquely contribute to something and foster community in the process. These pursuits will deliver more sustained motivation and fulfillment, because they're not just important, they're uniquely important and uniquely doable by you. That's all for me today. Let me know if you tried this exercise in the comments or if you have any feedback on how we can make it a better framework. See you next time on Snackable Growth.